How do y'all feel about vegetables? Because we're going to talk about vegetables tonight. I know, a lot of people don't like vegetables at all. But you need them. You need roughage. You need to keep the system moving. Some of them are objectively good for you. Some of them are just for texture. Some of them taste really good without any addition. Some of them you don't need butter or garlic or anything like that. Some of them are just good as is. Some of them you can put whatever you want on them and they're going to have a specific taste. The question I have for you all, are you ready to talk about vegetables? Soma's in here and already has an opinion. Brussels sprouts are the devil and deserve a special place in hell. Okay, well that's a really hot take. That's a really hot take. I like the energy. Let's keep that energy tonight. All right. There's quite a few on this list. I'm going to scroll a bit so you can see. It's a pretty good list. There's a few others out there on Tiermaker for vegetables. I think this is a good representation. A lot of greens, a few not. And let's get this out of the way because I don't know that olives count as vegetables. But green olives are S tier. Full sentence, period, full stop. I love green olives. I don't care. I put them on pizza, put them in salads. Just, they're ultra high in sodium. They're not really any good for you. I love them. Now, some of my friends don't like them. Joe from Zilf used to punish himself when he was playing Dark Souls on stream, where he would eat one every time he died. He called them bin grapes, right? Bin, like the UK people call it trash. They're trash grapes. Nah, I love them. I love them, and they're S tier for me, even though calling green olives a vegetable is kind of sketchy. Soma's in. I like extra dirty martini with extra olives. I love it. Love that energy. I want to get that out of the way because I don't think that is a real vegetable. Also, I want to run through here and put in the stuff I haven't tried. Let's knock all that out so we can kind of reduce this list a little bit. Gailan, am I saying that right? I don't know what that is. No clue. Edamame, we've got eggplant, rutabaga, turnip, tomatillo. I have had tomatillo in salsa, but I can't say I've ever actually had one as a vegetable, so we're going to go ahead and move that down. Also, chicory, I've not had by itself. Chicory root is in a lot of like fiber bars and things like that, but as an actual vegetable, I've never had it, so we're going to put that in never had. Garlic scapes. I mean, I know I love garlic. Everyone loves garlic. What are garlic scapes? I don't know. I can't say I've had it, so I can't really speak to it. You live in Texas and haven't had a tomatillo. I don't know what you want me to tell you on that. You seem shocked. What? Treebeard, have you had clam chowder? Lobster? Have you had lobster? Ha!
Tell me you love me.
Well, of course I love you, Treebeard, and thank you for that resub. I don't know that I've had a tomatillo as an actual vegetable, so I'm going to put that down in haven't tried. Like I said, I've had it in with salsas and stuff, but I couldn't tell you what the difference is. Is it really just a green tomato? Tomato? Extra mayo on my tomato? I don't know what a tomatillo is. So if somebody can clarify it a little bit more, that would be great. Thank you for that resub. 33 months. Gailan is Chinese broccoli, kind of like kale. I still don't think I've had it in anything. Maybe I'm eating the white people Chinese food. Maybe. Celeriac? I don't know what that is. That's going up there. What is this white vegetable with the what is that? I don't even know what that is. And they've got names on almost all of these, but not that. I don't know what that is. I'm confused. Well, that's right. Tomatillo is in tasty salsa. See, I can tell you I've had it in salsa. I'm sure I have. But I don't know what flavor is in that I can point out and say that's tomatillo. Okay, but that's salsa verde. I'm talking about just the vegetables. See, now if I've had a salad and they're in a salad and I know what it is and I've tasted it outside of a pattern of other things and spices and stuff, because I'm judging these vegetables pretty much on their own, or by how much you have to do to get them to taste good. That is my pattern here, and I don't know what that tomatillo tastes like. Y'all can keep trying, and I'm listening. If you're gonna tell me it's actually a green tomato, well, I've had a green tomato. It's just a green tomato. Tomatillos are fruit, so there you go. It shouldn't even be on the list. Zucchini, turnip, tomato, Swiss chard, spinach, sorrel. Sorrel is kind of close to Swiss chard. We'll leave that in there. Snow pea, snap peas, rutabaga. Okay, I don't know what that is. What is that? Am I pointing at it properly? What is that? The little starfish, whatever that is. The white pinwheel looking thing is lotus root. Thank you, Soma. I did not know that. I don't know what this is. So it's going in up here. Lotus root, I don't know that I've had that. Like, I like vegetables for the most part. Fiddlehead? What? Who? Okay, they just made these up. Would you like some fiddlehead? I've never seen that in my life. Fiddlehead, I'm sorry. I don't know what you are. Maybe you're good. The green fractal looking veggie. Romanesco cauliflower. That's what this is? Let's Google that. I'm not saying I don't believe you. Romanesco cauliflower. I just want to see other pictures of it. There it is. Good call, Soma. Tomatillos taste like tomatoes, but are a little more herby. So I might like them. I guess I need to make a point to try to have them somehow. I'm sure they're at the store all over here. I just don't go to the store and buy a bunch of vegetables. And when we do buy a vegetable to try, more often than not, we forget about it and it sits in the fridge until it goes into a science experiment and you have to throw it out when the trash comes. Romanesco is the shit? Yeah, I guess so. Romanesco broccoli? Ooh, and like a cauliflower cheese dish? Man, that would be good. I want to try that. Alright, so I haven't had Romanesco broccoli, but now I really want some. Is it local to a certain area? Oh, I forgot to ask that. Romanesco cauliflower regions. It's suited to zones 3 through 10. Oh god, blog spam. Jesus Christ. It's hardy in USDA. We're growing zones 3 to 10. What? 3 to 10. Cool, here's a map that doesn't have numbers on it. Fuck off. I'm not in the mood. Okay. We got corn. We got dandelion. Now, what is dandelion? You pick a dandelion and you're like, whew, and all the tiny little white seeds go everywhere. I don't eat dandelion. I honestly, I'm confused by some of these. I'll be totally honest. Sunchoke. Don't know what that is. Artichoke. A sunchoke. Alright, I think we're about done here. Yeah, I think we're done. Alright. Now let's get to the rest of the list. And we'll try to do this in order. Starting with acorn squash. I don't like acorn squash. Don't like it. Don't like the texture. Don't think the flavor's that great. Acorn squash is kind of like stringy, right? No, I'm thinking spaghetti squash. I hate spaghetti squash. Okay, acorn squash is better than F. All right, we'll go C. You gotta put some brown sugar and some butter in it or something to make it edible. Yeah. But it's not bad. My mom used to roast acorn squash around the fall, and we'll just dump a bunch of brown sugar and butter in it. And you put brown sugar and butter on something, it's gonna taste good. More often than not. So putting it as a C is maybe a little bit of a favor, because I don't know that I've had it without being doused in something like that. If it was spaghetti squash, is spaghetti squash in this list? No, good, because you'd have to GTFO with that. I hate the texture of spaghetti squash. It's gross. Artichoke. So I like artichoke dip. Spinach and artichoke stuff is pretty good. Artichokes by themselves, have I had it? I don't know. We'll kind of put it in here with acorn squash for now, because artichokes and acorn squash are foods that I've not had just on their own. I don't know that anybody really does. Soma says roasted artichoke hearts are amazing, A tier at least. You know what? You're right, I have had roasted artichoke hearts and they're very good. I'm gonna move it up to a B. I'm not gonna go higher than that though. But you're right, they're good. Okay, that's fair. Asparagus. Now this is a tough one. Y'all know what asparagus does to your pee. Makes it smell bad. All right, we know this. But asparagus is kind of a fun vegetable to have once in a while. A little bit of garlic butter on it. Just a little bit, not a lot. And don't undercook it, don't overcook it. You gotta steam them, and you gotta steam them within a certain way, because if they're overdone, it's just mush. If they're underdone, they're so crunchy that it's like you're eating Cheetos. There's a window of time with asparagus that is, you gotta be careful. Asparagus is good if you're backed up like nature's flaws. Asparagus is F. So, no, but I don't hate on anyone who doesn't like asparagus. So, it's a C. For me, I actually kind of like asparagus, but I can't go any higher than that because there are just too many drawbacks to eating it. But it's for a change up once in a while, I'll make it with steak. It's kind of a fun vegetable to eat with a steak. If that's a pickle, Rick, you're getting banned. Okay, good. Pickle Soma. Don't throw that pickle Rick in here. The funniest joke of all time. I'm kidding. All right, avocado. I don't know how it is anything less than S tier. I don't know. Avocado by itself is good on sandwiches, in salads. Like sandwiches, we make bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwiches with avocado because we saw that on at a restaurant where they do that, and it was like, oh my god, this is better than just a BLTA. And of course, then you just make it. You can add it to salsa or just dip chips in, pureed. It doesn't even have to be pureed. But then people who make guac, and I'm telling you, a good table side guac, oh, you can't beat it. It is so good. There's not a salsa on the planet that can compete with a good table side guac. Full, pure facts. And if you disagree, you're wrong. Avocado's S tier. All right, you're with me on that. A tier at least from Soma. Bago says it's good. Only because of the precise moment you can eat it and is okay in the moment. So, true, Soma. There's a window of time. Now, you can put them in the fridge, and you'll get an extra day out of them in terms of when you open them. But once you open them, you've got 24 hours to eat what's left. Ziploc bag or otherwise, it's gone. It's going to just turn brown. That is a drawback. All right, bamboo shoots. They're kind of fun in Chinese food, There's no flavor to them though, and it's just a texture thing. And the D is not because it tastes bad. I just don't see the reason other than texture for them to exist. Now, I am as white as the virgin snow, so if I'm missing something here, chat, feel free to tell me. But as of right now, the way I think of bamboo shoots is just, you can throw it in with stir fry and to give it a little extra texture. They don't really add any flavor. It's almost kind of like water chestnuts. There's really not any flavor. It's more of a texture thing, which is great. Sometimes you want that extra texture. I love throwing water chestnuts in. And, you know, I should buy some bamboo shoots next time I make stir fry. It's a good idea. Bean sprouts. Also a texture thing, but I like the texture of bean sprouts a little more than bamboo shoots. I would say you throw a little bit of that on top of a salad, and it just zhuzhes it up. And yes, I just used that word. Fun in salads. All right, bamboo shoots are fun in salads. I think bean sprouts are more fun in salads. That's why I'm giving it a little bit higher of a rank, but there's really no flavor that I can talk of. And yes, I'm coming off of COVID, but I never lost my sense of taste or smell. So there's that. Thank you. Beets are as F tier as anything on this list. I don't want beets. I don't want beet juice. I don't want beets mixed in with anything. All right. Dr. Dre named his headphones after him, and those headphones are trash. They're cheap, overpriced, name brand crap. Beet headphones suck, and Beats as vegetables suck. Get them out of here. F tier all the way around. Patty mayonnaise would be disappointed. Not a fan of borscht. The only way you could ever talk me into eating beets is in borscht, because they are cooked, all the flavors cooked out of beets when you make borscht. Pretty much all the flavors out of it. I will say this. You would agree with me if you spent more than a day in Greeley, Colorado. Come with me. I want to tell you a story. I want to give you a little TED Talk about a little town that I lived in Colorado called Greeley. A college town, but also an agrarian town. Lots of migrant farmers that come through the seasons. The town, mostly known for college, but also for that. But there's also a slaughterhouse on one end of town. And when the wind blows a certain direction, the entire town smells like dead livestock. That's pretty bad, right? Well, guess what? On the other end of town, there is a beet processing factory. Have you ever smelled beets when they're being processed? I will tell you, 3.5 years I lived in that town. The smell of beets being processed smells far worse than a slaughterhouse. And if you've been around it, you would know. And you would be like me, and you would say Beats are F tier. Beats headphones, sorry Dre, great producer, not a good rapper, terrible. Your headphones suck, the vegetable sucks. Beats, get out of here. F tier. I don't want it. There's your free TED Talk in the Riz Arena. A certain assistant to the regional manager may not agree with you. I don't know what you're talking about on that. Olives suck, but beets also suck. Olives don't suck. Olives are amazing. A stinky town. Dude, oh my god. I'm telling you. Let's Google that right now. What do beets being processed smell like? Horrible smell from sugar plant gets 800 complaints. Sugar facility, all right? During the beet campaign, impacts of odor on white sugar during beet campaign. Processing sugar beets. Oh, I ain't reading all that. Control of odors in the sugar beet processing industry. No surprise, odor biggest complaint about Sugar Factory. I'm telling you folks, until you've been around it, you really don't know. It is horrendous. Bears beats Battlestar Galactica. Still doesn't beat a paper mill. Oh, I've never been around a paper mill. I can imagine it's probably not great because the wet and the pulp of the paper probably doesn't smell good. Oh, yeah, I don't watch The Office, sorry. Okay, Bitter Melon. I'm going to put this up here and I haven't tried because honestly, I have not. I don't know what that is. Bell peppers. So here's the thing. Bell peppers, not a ton of flavor. The red and the yellow one's a little bit more than green. I cook with them a lot because they add a lot of texture, dice them up, throw them into stir fry, throw them into pastas. I love bell peppers. From a texture perspective, you can fry them, you can oven bake them, throw a little bit of olive oil on them. I'm putting them as a B, but a high B because they don't have a lot of a flavor range. But boy, are they useful and very, very COVID brain again. Sorry, I'm having trouble finding words tonight. Versatile is the word I'm looking for. All right, bok choy. I like bok choy mixed into salads and stir fries. I think it's kind of there with artichoke. It's definitely ahead of asparagus for sure. Paper mill smells like that swampy, slow, wet fart that perpetually creeps out of you. Okay, we're not going to read the rest of that. Thank you, Soma, for the very descriptive text. Appreciate that. All right, here's my problem. We've got broccolini, and then we've got broccoli kayfabe? Broccolarabe? Okay, I don't know that I've had broccolarabe. Broccolarabi. Broccolarabi. But I have had broccolini and I've had broccoli. This might be controversial. I know George Bush Sr. did not like broccoli. And then the broccoli farmers all got mad at him because he said it. Broccoli, for me, is A tier. Broccolini, B tier. Broccolini isn't really that different. But I do think it belongs up there. Just steamed broccoli by itself, a little bit of garlic salt. That's all you need. Good texture, good for you. I cook with broccoli a lot, and it is a fantastic vegetable. It's one of the best ones on this list for sure. Broccoli and cheese. I mean, you can put cheese sauce like Velveeta on broccoli. And when I was a kid, that's kind of what I needed. I mean, it's a proven fact. When you're younger, your taste buds are more active. And so vegetables, for some kids, don't taste good because they're so strong. When you get older, you start to appreciate them a little bit more, partially because you're older and you understand the value in them, but also your taste buds don't have the same range that they had when you were younger. So, but I didn't hate broccoli when I was younger. I also didn't hate Brussels sprouts, and I'll tell you, Brussels sprouts, highly, highly underrated in this entire list. I know some of y'all are thinking, Brussels sprouts are gross. You've probably just had them boiled. If you steam them, maybe mix in a little bit of margarine or butter, throw a little bit of garlic salt or a little bit of salt on them, they're good. And they're also very good for you. But the way I like to eat them, and I actually burned her out on them for a while because I cooked them so often. Take a like a cookie sheet, throw some tin foil on it, throw some Brussels sprouts on it. Could be frozen, could be in the fridge, could be fresh. Throw a little bit of olive oil, toss them in the olive oil, a little bit of salt, throw them in the oven for like 20 minutes. Oh my God. Oven baked Brussels sprouts are amazing. When I was a kid, the only way I could really eat Brussels sprouts was with cheese sauce or with a lot of butter on them. Now, just a little bit of olive oil and some salt. They're incredible. And they're really good for you. So, highly rated. You might not like the flavor, but if you try them, just roast them in an oven for 20 minutes. 25 minutes maybe. Just keep an eye on them. The outside edges, because there's layers, might turn black a bit and crisp up a bit. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's not burnt. They'll taste just as good. That little extra bit of crunch, you'll like it. You'll like it. You're going to eat them. Didn't Carvey saying about broccoli for his SNL audition? I didn't know that. Brussels sprouts rule. Yes, Treebeard. Your favorite vegetable. I love it. I love it. Maple Brussels sprouts. Now, I don't know about that. What makes maple Brussels sprouts? I'm listening. I'm interested. Soma's the other direction. No amount of butter, garlic, or other seasoning on this earth can rid Brussels sprouts. They're evil. They're very good for you. Throw them into a fire barrel for good measure. Wow. Okay. Lettuce. This is tough. I mean, is lettuce even really a vegetable? There's no real nutritional value to like iceberg lettuce. There's like butter lettuce or some other types of lettuce that there is, but without lettuce you don't really have a salad. And without salads, are diets any fun? You just eat less food. And don't be one of those people who's like, I'm gonna have a salad, and you douse like 5 tablespoons of ranch dressing on it. That's not how it works. All right. Lettuce is the perennial C tier. And I don't know how to put it any higher, but I don't know how to put it any lower either. It doesn't have a flavor pattern. It's a texture thing, kind of like bean sprouts. But lettuce is undeniable in its influence, so you gotta give it some love. Isn't lettuce like 90% water? I don't know. I would believe it. Aren't we like 70% water? Do Brussels sprouts, pancetta, shallots, and roasted garlic. Okay. Ooh, that sounds good. Crunchy water. Taco salad, 12,000 calories, but it's still a salad. Well, don't eat the shell, the bowl that it comes in. It's deep fried. You're just eating this deep fried tortilla, and it's been soaking in salsa and whatever else. Don't eat the shell. You eat the shell, and it's just, you might as well have not had a salad at all. You might as well have had a burrito. Butternut squash. I'm gonna basically put this with acorn squash. In fact, I'm gonna put it lower because to me, this looks a lot like spaghetti squash. Oh my god. Spaghetti squash. Is it acorn squash? Wait, and which one did I have up here? Butternut squash. Apparently they are different. Butternut squash is a smooth, almost creamy texture, but spaghetti squash is stringy. Okay, so we should probably put it up there with the acorn squash, because butternut squash is okay. But boy, I start seeing that texture in there, and I start thinking of spaghetti squash, and I want to trash it. No, I have had butternut squash. It's been a while. And for me, it's pretty much right there with acorn squash. Cabbage. Cabbage, a little bit of cabbage mixed into a salad is fine. Cabbage. Sauerkraut, I don't like. But cabbage, in some ways, is a little bit better than lettuce, but I can't rate it higher than lettuce because the overall of lettuce is still more valuable than the overall of cabbage in my world. Roasted butternut squash is creamy like roasted potatoes. Okay. I need someone to properly cook me some butternut squash. Treebeard, I think you're the person to do it. Carrots. I think they've just proven the whole thing with carrots being good for your eyesight. I don't know that that's a thing anymore, but that doesn't matter. Carrots, raw, like baby carrots, fantastic. Dip them in hummus, dip them in ranch dressing, dip them in whatever you want. French onion dip. Cut into slices and steamed in a bag and mixed into stir fry, or just a little bit of garlic butter on them. There's a lot of different things you can do with carrots, and they're never bad. In fact, I have to put them a little bit above broccoli. Cabbage is fiber lettuce. So then at least it has some value then. Cabbage is B tier because of dolmades. I don't know what dolmades is. Cabbage in a coleslaw type. Pulled pork sandwiches. Okay. You know what? Bago and Treebeard, your comments are making me rethink cabbage. I'm going to put them ahead of the lettuce. You're right. There is a little more nutritional value in it as well. There you go. Dolmade. I don't know what dolmades is. What is it? Cauliflower. Cauliflower is a B. It's a vegetable I do like to cook with once in a while, but honestly, it doesn't quite have the same nutritional value of something like broccoli or carrots. And the flavor pattern, it's more of a texture thing. There's just a hint of flavor in it, but I do like cauliflower, especially if I'm making like a curry. Cauliflower is great in that. Celery. Shit tier. It's stringy, right? Have I established yet that I don't like stringy? Spaghetti squash, if it was on this list, F tier. Celery, only above beets because beets are the worst. But celery? How is celery any good? You can cut it up into small pieces and use it as a texture thing. That's fine. But you're never going to feature celery. When you're a kid, mom tries to make you eat celery by doing what? Putting a ton of cheese in it. Or putting a bunch of peanut butter in it. I'm sorry, you can put Cheese Whiz on almost anything and make it better. You can put peanut butter on almost anything and make it better. That is not a recommendation for celery. And the only other thing going for it is celery. If you eat celery, it takes more calories, more energy for your body to process celery than it does that you get out of it nutritionally. You're basically eating water. So if you're trying to fill your stomach up and you're on like the most diety of diets, I guess celery has a use that way. So you know what? For the fact that you can chop it up into some small pieces and maybe use it as a salad texture type of thing, we'll bump it up to D. It doesn't taste horrendous. I just don't have a use for celery in my regular life, so I'm going to go ahead and put that up there. Celery's negative calories. Yeah, you got me. Celery and stuffing. Bago, you're hitting the right notes here. I like this. Celery and stuffing. All of a sudden, I just realized I cooked with celery on Thanksgiving. High D. But I'm not putting it above those squashes. I eat celery raw with nothing on it. It's crunchy and delicious. Treebeard, are you okay? Do we need to talk? Also good if you're backed up. The other nature's floss. Important to know. Collard greens. I don't like when they get wet and the texture of them. I do like collard green kind of mixed into things like salads, but it's not my favorite. I'll go ahead and put it in between celery and bamboo shoots. Collard greens are awful, says Treebeard. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the flavor really, but if it's mixed in with other stuff, you don't really notice it. It does give a little bit of a different feel and a different taste palette, just a tiny tweak. If I was eating it by itself, no. And collard greens, no. I'm from the north, man. I don't want any of that. If there's an F- tier, okra would not be F tier. No. No, you need to come down to the south and get some fried okra. Fried okra is really good, actually. As someone from the north who's lived in the south now for 21 years, fried okra is good. I can represent on some fried okra. And even plain okra by itself, pickled okra is not terrible. She's from the south. She loves okra. Soma, southerner, you know. Alabama for 2 years. Did you really have okra in those 2 years, though? Did you? Is this like me and my tomatillo? Collard green, bean, ham hock soup. Okay. Maybe. A little ham hock and some beans. And a little collard green in there. Okay. See, if you do it just right, the other flavors might help. All right. Corn. Corn is kind of weird because it's not really a vegetable because it grows above ground. I'm putting it as a B, but the problem with corn is there's not a lot of nutritional value and it's kind of high in calories compared to broccoli and carrots and asparagus. So but it is pretty damn good. I had some last night with dinner. We're gonna go ahead and just put it as a B, but it's a slightly below average B. Yeah, it also corn syrup. There was a time when corn was being put into everything because of the subsidies from the government for corn farmers, and then that flipped to soybeans, and soy was being put into everything where it didn't belong. Cucumbers. Now this is tough because every once in a while we'll buy a cucumber and we'll cut that up and use that instead of potato chips when we're having like sandwiches or something. And I'm telling you, even with the peels on them, slices, you know, real thin sliced cucumbers. Love the texture, love the flavor. You can also put ranch on that shit. Make a cucumber salad, cut them up into little cubes. Cucumber salad's damn good in the summertime. Man, I like cucumbers. I'm gonna put them below Brussels sprouts though. S tier for Bago. Cucumbers F tier. Look at the wide variety we've got here. I love this. This wide variety of love. You've got S tier and F tier on cucumber. Amazing. Cucumber slices in your sandwich. That's what I'm talking about. Good texture. It's not bad for you. I like a cucumber. I think it's A tier. Low A. Cucumber's next to celery. So you also like celery, and I'm not a really big fan of celery. It's like celery but soft. A lot of water. Edamame. Cucumbers are S tier because they're also pickles. Okay, Soma, that's a good way to argue that. Maybe for someone who doesn't like black metal. Do you like pickles? No, that's Pickles. Pickles the drummer. Doodly doo. Ding dong doodly. Doodly doo. No, they don't taste like cucumbers, but they can be turned into them with some pickling. Okay, edamame. I hadn't had edamame for the longest time in my life, and then we were at an Asian restaurant, and it was like, yeah, would you like a side of edamame? And I'm like, and she was like, yeah. I'm like, okay, what is it? And it's basically just soybeans, but they're steamed, and you throw some salt on them. You like pop them out of the little shells, almost like snow peas. Edamame is good. The problem is it's good as a side. I don't really want to eat edamame as like an actual featured dish. It's more of a snack type thing. As a snack, I like it. I think it needs to be somewhere in here. We'll make it a C. Absolutely not. Pickles are terrible. Pickles are god tier. Look at this. The back and forth. Y'all are going to get into a fight, aren't you? Do I need to roll marbles on stream to see who wins this battle of whose vegetable is their favorite? Cabbage needs to be higher because sauerkraut and kimchi. I don't like kimchi. And I don't like sauerkraut either. No, it's not going higher. First time I had edamame, I ate the outside. The waitress then came over and gave us a plate for the peel. Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, the first time we got it was 2 plates. And I had someone who could show me, otherwise I probably would have made the same mistakes. That's funny that you say that. Eggplant. It's a really good emoji. I do not like the flavor of eggplant. I don't like the flavor of eggplant. It is a really low D. I don't actively hate it like beets, but it's close. Fuck beets. Endive. Honestly, I've had Endive, but it's been so long that I can't vote on it, so we'll put it down and haven't tried. I have had it. It's just been a long time. How do you not have sauerkraut on a hot dog? On a Polish sausage, maybe, but I'd rather have a Chicago dog with bell peppers on it and onions, which we'll get to onions in a minute. Kimchi is delish. Enjoy. You can have mine. Well, pastrami and Swiss cheese on rye with some mayonnaise. Yeah, I'm the guy who puts mayo on his pastrami sandwich. Sorry, it's my favorite. I will. Okay then. Fennel. I haven't had enough fennel to really have a strong opinion. I will say though, it is pretty good. It is starting to become trendy in cooking to kind of throw fennel into a lot of things. My opinion of it is it's decent, but I don't really cook with it, so it's gonna end up kind of in the C range. If y'all want to make an argument for Fennel up or down, I'm listening. My opinion on Fennel is it's fine. Green beans. So I like green beans. She does not really care for green beans, so I don't really cook green beans. They're pretty good for you. They're better for you than corn. But I don't like them as much as asparagus. Sorry, cauliflower. So, God, brain fog is real, yo. COVID's not fun, y'all. B tier for green beans, Soma. Yeah. I think that's fair. I think mid B is good. Green bean casserole's good. Yep, I made some over Thanksgiving break, and who didn't eat it? I had it a couple times and I got tired of it. It was one of those things where my mom would make it at Thanksgiving, and as a thing to put on your plate, your plate's this big, and that little spot up in the corner gets some of that green bean casserole. It's fine. To eat a lot of it, it's too much. Off the vine green beans, 100% A tier. Ooh, just a crisp, freshly picked green bean. Yes. We used to pick green beans and rinse them and like cook them fresh off the vine. My grandmother used to go to this place and she would just pick green beans, or she would get them fresh at like a farmer's market. Oh my god, yeah, that was fun. Fresh green beans sauteed with garlic and butter, also A tier. I'm not mad at that. Yeah, and that's usually what I would do. It's just a texture thing. She is not a big fan of it, so I just don't make them. Like, I've got a bag of frozen steamable green beans. It's been in my deep freeze for probably 2 years now. It's probably that's probably freezer burned. Just add a little salt and pepper. Friggin' delicious. Kale. Kale is fine. It's cabbage and lettuce level, but I put it below those two. It's definitely more nutritious of the most of the three, but I like the flavor the least of the three, just as an actual leafy green, and it's okay. Overrated. There was a time when it was really trendy. Everything had kale in it. I don't know if we're still at that. I want to say that was like 10 years ago. It's fine. If I'm at one of those custom salad places like Salata, and they're like, would you like some of this lettuce and this kale and whatever, I'm like, yeah, chuck it all in there, right? Blend it all in. I wouldn't want to eat a salad of just kale though. Ugh. Kale's fine. Kale soup with ham and lentils, okay, I would try that. If prepped right, good as a base for Caesar salad. Okay, those are all valid opinions. I can't argue with any of that. Kohlrabi. Sorry. Kohlrabi? Kohlrabi. No clue. Sorry, Kohlrabi. Don't know what you are. Gotta move you. Leeks. I like leeks. I don't cook with leeks enough. I do like them. I'm gonna put them as a kind of a low B. I put them right here with bok choy. In fact, I'm gonna put them a little bit ahead of bok choy. But there's definitely a similarity in terms of texture, for at least for my palate. So I think leeks and bok choy are kind of in the same page. Could be mixed in with some stir fry. Not a vegetable I would cook with just as a side. I don't know that anybody does. Lima beans. Ugh. I don't like lima beans. I don't like the texture. I don't think the flavor's not great. They're kind of in there with collards. Not crazy about them. You know what's even worse? Mustard greens. I'm gonna put those even lower than collard greens. I don't have a use for them. I don't have a need for them. Now maybe you cook with mustard greens and they turn out great. That's fantastic. I'm happy for you. Not interested. Okra. Now this is interesting. Fried okra in the South. It's as southern as sweet tea on the porch in the summertime. As a northerner, I split down the middle. I like a little fried okra. I don't mind okra in like a dish. Okra by itself, just eating it plain, yeah, no, not really. I'm gonna put this as a C because I do like it sometimes, but I don't like it as much as edamame or bean sprouts. So we'll kind of put it over here. I have a feeling some of you really like it. Some of you from the South probably really like okra. I have a feeling some of you in the North have no opinion or you don't like it. Let's take a look at chat. Treebeard in the North says no okra. Soma in the South, okra's A tier at least. We're coming down North and South, that split already. Bago, do you have an opinion? Black Metal, what's your opinion? I want to see this North-South split. Are we about to start another civil war over okra? I'm starting to think it's happening. Where's Jug? Yeah, is Jug with you on okra? Okay. Another Northerner? So you're telling me he doesn't like okra either? Bago's never had it. Okra's pretty good, says the guy from the South. All right, it doesn't seem like any of you are passionate enough about this, so we're probably not going to start a civil war, I would wager. We'll have to ask him. I'm curious, just as a thing, because it's very Southern. I almost want to start a Twitter poll. All right, moving on to onions. I'm going to tell you, there's nothing on here that's going to split me as much as onions do. Because when I was a kid, just the smell of onions would make me have a gag reflex. If onions were baked into something, it's all I tasted. It dominated my palate so much, I would have to basically spit the onions out into my hands and like into my napkin and hide it, and then go into the bathroom and flush them down the toilet. Because my mother would cook with them, because her and my stepfather loved onions, and my brother didn't really care either way. No matter how many times I told her, I can't, all I taste is onions, and it makes me gag. She thought it was all in my head. It wasn't. I swear to you it wasn't. Now, raw onions on hamburger or any other type of sandwich or food or whatever, get that out of here. Hate it. It still is strong to me, but as my taste buds have gotten a little softer as I've gotten older, I don't have that gag reflex response. I just go, onions. But I've had onions in stuff when I order no onions and it comes back with raw onions. It's like I'll scrape it off of there, but just having the leftover flavor of an onion that was touching my burger doesn't bother me like it did when I was younger. So I can deal with it. And I will say this, stir-fried onions in soy sauce or teriyaki sauce or whatever in a stir fry, or fried up with some ground beef when I'm making pasta, and with bell peppers and onions, actually good. And I never thought, 15-year-old me would be mind blown that older me would even feel that way. So it's odd for me, because young version of me would put onions below beets, because I would be like, hey, borscht isn't bad. Beets aren't as bad as onions. Now that I've lived where I've lived and smelled beet processing, and now that I'm older and I cook with onions all the time because she loves them. She could eat onions like an apple. I have to give them some credit, but it's going to be low B. But they do deserve some credit, and this is the biggest surprise to me, that I think they do belong in the low B. How's chat? I need the fattest slice of red onion on a burger. Hey, some people love that. I've been doing yellow onions when I cook. There's enough flavor there, but it's not overpowering. French onion au dur dip is amazing. Raw onions, give me that spicy apple. Yeah, see, I don't want to kiss none of y'all after you eat those onions. All right, I don't want none of it. All right, if y'all are trying to kiss me, make sure you don't eat into a raw onion first. Can we just put that out there? All right, parsnip, dude. I gotta put parsnip and haven't tried. Like, I'm sorry. I feel like I haven't had a parsnip. I know I have. Have I? I couldn't tell you what they taste like, so I've got to put it down and haven't tried. That goes with me on the raw onions versus cooked. All right, I like it. You may not be as old as me, but you're with me. I like that. These are peas. I like peas, kinda. Peas as a texture thing. Look, They're in here somewhere because I do cook peas sometimes. I'm going to put them in between corn and green beans. I am. A little bit of garlic butter, a little bit of salt. I can eat them just plain steamed, and they're fine. But I can see where if they're overdone, they're a little mushy. I always cook mine just on the slight side of undercooked, and I'd rather have a little pop to them than have them be mushy. But overcooked peas don't bother me. But I can see where they're a little mushy for some folks. So, hey, look, if you're not a fan of peas, I'm not mad at that. Radio show? That's made up. Okay, I know I've had that. I know I haven't had rutabaga since I was a little kid, and I couldn't tell you the taste palette on that, so let's put that up there. Every once in a while I go to like Whole Foods and I see rutabaga and I'm like, you're gonna have to do a better job of marketing your vegetable than calling it rutabaga. What a terrible name. Hey, no one's buying this fish. Chilean sea bass. Bam, sells out. They should have done that with rutabaga. What kind of a name is rutabaga? Radishio? I don't know what that is. Look, I've probably had one of those in salads, and I just don't know. Cloister's in. Depends on the kind of onion. Red onions are fine raw. So purple onion, I don't mind raw. Red onion, kind of in the same boat, but small doses. White or yellow have to be cooked thoroughly. Caramelized preferred. Yeah, well, caramelized onions, not bad. I'm not one of those who puts onions on their steak or puts anything on their steak. Does anyone here put A1 on their steak? If so, we need to have an intervention. Ketchup? Jesus Christ. Radicchio? Thank you for looking that up, Black Metal. Treebeard's girlfriend puts A1 or ketchup on their steak. This is Interpol. Like, we need to call Interpol on this crime. Like, this isn't just the FBI or the CIA. We need to get the international authorities involved. She snuck A1 into a wedding to put on her filet mignon. Okay. So Melissa's from the South. And every time she orders a steak well done, she's just like, yeah, I know what you're gonna say. Just cook it. Most waiters or wait staff just go, all right, and they just write it down, and she's like, I know you're gonna go back in there and laugh at me. I know you are. It's fine. It's how I like it. I don't want it to move. And I always argue with her. You don't taste it when it's well done. There's no taste range in it at all. It's jerky. But ultimately, she doesn't like the sight of like blood in her food, and just the chance that a medium well will have some sort of runny pink in the middle drives her crazy. Having said that, even she knows you don't put steak sauce on a steak. You can marinate and grill it after it's been marinating for 24 or 48 hours, but don't you dare put steak sauce on a steak. You don't do it. Char is a taste. Yeah, no. She likes the texture of a well done steak and A1 sauce. Treebeard, look, it's your partner. You gotta deal with it. It's a texture thing. Well, it can't be a taste thing because you really can't taste a well done steak. Radishes to me are D tier. I don't like how pungent they are, how sharp they are. There's this sting almost when you eat them, and I can see where some people would think that's like an acquired taste. For me, I have no interest in it. It's yeah. I'm even gonna put it a little bit below eggplant. I don't like radishes at all. I don't. There's some here in our fridge right now. She bought some when she went to Whole Foods last week. They're in there. I won't touch them. She's sitting right here. Say it to her face. Treebeard's partner. You crazy. You like a well done steak with A1 on it? You crazy. You crazy. How could you? We need intervention. Right, we all have different taste palettes. It's fine. Yes, I weakened. Because she's right there. I buckled like a belt. I'm still not 100%, alright? Just leave me alone. I don't get the brigade against steak sauce. It doesn't seem like a hill worth dying on. I'm not dying. Who's dying? What? Why are you threatening me, Holmes? The whole thing is, if a steak is seasoned or marinated properly, aged properly, you shouldn't put any sauce on it at all. Some people make the same argument with barbecue, that if you are cooking your barbecue properly, you shouldn't need any sort of barbecue sauce. And I agree with that up to a point. But with steaks, it's much more of a thing here down south that the steak is cooked a specific way to be enjoyed as it is. And if you want to order something on the side, you want to put some steak sauce on it, go ahead. But you're by doing that, you're almost telling the chef, you didn't do a good enough job, so I've got to add something of my own to it. That's how some chefs in steakhouses actually think. They're like, by doing that, you're ruining the flavor, the way that I have aged this meat or seasoned it or whatever. That's why it's a problem for a lot of them. You're not going to get that from most barbecue smokehouse type folks. They cook the meat in a way that it'll taste good without any barbecue sauce, but they also choose the barbecue sauces and the way that they make their own barbecue sauces to complement it. That's where I think there's a difference. And I know we're talking about steaks and barbecue when this is all about vegetables, but I think it's a valid point as we're talking about that. Jack Links makes a good well done steak strips. The pitchfork in your back pocket agrees. Disagrees? What? Pitchfork? You calling me a hick? The chef has a specific preparation period at a truck stop. Okay, all right. Depends on where you're eating it. All right, look, if you're at Golden Corral, you clearly don't give a fuck about quality. You're there for quantity. I'm not judging that. You do you. And if you're going for the quantity over the quality, slap it on there. You're at Chili's and you get a T-bone or whatever, fine. But if you're at a steakhouse like here in Dallas, like a Three Forks or Bob's Chop House, Steak and Chop House, like a high-end steakhouse, don't you dare bring in your own A1. If you do, you better be real sneaky about it, because you're probably going to have someone from the kitchen come out and ask you, is there anything wrong with your food? Because they'll be offended. It's actually kind of interesting. Don't get me started on barbecue, says Soma. Steakhouse is a type of restaurant for a reason. This has been a fun aside, by the way. I should get back to the vegetables. But I'm glad we had this chat. All right, snap peas. God, I like snap peas. I really like snap peas. I don't cook with them enough. I should start making more stir fry with snap peas. I love the texture. I love when they're steamed and with a little bit of salt on them and you throw them in some stir fry. Oh man, I don't cook with them enough. I should. I'm gonna put them above green beans. Bam, snap peas. Snap on that. Juggernaut's here. I walked in and see olives in S tier. WTF. First of all, olives are on the list. They don't belong here. But I love green olives, so there. We've already litigated this, Jug. Welcome to the stream. I'm glad you're here. It's stupid. Olives should not be on this list, but here we are. Someone made this list. They put olives on it. I ranked them, even though they don't belong. Start, Jug. Snow peas. Now, look at snap peas. They're round. They're you can steam them and they still have that pop to them. And then look at snow peas. They're deflated. They've given up on life. The peas in there, shriveled, tiny little things. Snow peas are horrible. Why would anyone want to eat snow peas when snap peas are right there? The choice between these two is night and day. Snow peas are a low D. They also have less flavor. I'm going to put them right above lima bean. No, okay, all right. I'll put them above the collard greens and the mustard greens, but that's still a D. Because snap peas are really good. And the fact that snow peas exist when snap peas exist, it's the wrong universe that we live in. Olives are god tier in a ditch with the dead olive god. Wow, Jug, opinions. Black and Kalamata S tier for me. Green stuffed F tier. No. Green olives stuffed with jalapenos. I have a jar here. Would you like me to go grab some? Would you like me to open one? I'll go have one here on stream right now. And some of y'all will be like, high five, dude. And some of you will be gagging. I used to do garlic stuffed green olives. It's a little too much. Because the garlic that's in there, really strong. It's too much. Cloud, my garage is a swimming pool now. What? What are you talking about? Eat a warhead. No! Brussels sprouts. Yeah, Brussels sprouts are damn good. Put a warhead in an olive. That's good. Alright, we're almost done tonight. Sorrel. So I'm putting sorrel and Swiss chard kind of in the same boat. They might have more nutritional value. I don't really like them, but for the nutritional value, and if you just throw a little bit in with the salad, it's fine. But the problem with both of those is the stems in both of them throw off the rest of the texture of the leaf itself. Not a fan. But I still think it's low C, because there is definitely more nutritional value in them. I just don't like the texture of the stems in there. Why do they gotta do that? Thanks, Jug. I'm not 100%, but yeah, good enough to do a little just chatting stream tonight, and appreciate y'all hanging out. And we're almost done. I'll talk a little bit more about the charity stuff here in just a minute. Spinach leaves like that, really good. In fact, most of the time, if I'm making like just a sandwich, I'll put spinach in instead of lettuce because there's more nutritional value in there, and it kind of gives you the same type of crunch. Not quite as much crunch as like an iceberg lettuce, but still really good. I think spinach belongs higher than cabbage or lettuce or any of these. I even think it belongs up in the bees. I do. We'll put it below artichoke. Tomato. Tomato. It's tough. Because tomato by itself, not really a fan. You know, you chop it up, throw it into a salad or something. That's fine. A little difference in texture. Tomatoes to make salsa. Tomatoes to make pasta sauce. Tomatoes to make tomato sauce for pizzas. All epic. S tier stuff. For that, I have to give it some props. And tomatoes in salads are fine. And tomatoes, you can cut them up. You can throw some salt on just some sliced tomato and it's fine. I feel like an A is too high. I feel like it needs to be down here. But I can't go any lower than like in here. It's got to be in the B's though. Yeah, it's got to be in the B's. Yeah, we'll put it below all of these other vegetables that I cook with on a regular basis, or wish I did, like snap peas. Hot sauce. Yeah, no, legit. Tomatoes probably the most utilized vegetable on this list. But just by itself, eh. I'm not doing anything to really to prep, you know, as a side dish, anything with tomatoes. Mozzarella balsamic glaze. Okay, Jug, now you're talking. Slice some buffalo mozzarella, slice a tomato, a little balsamic, a little bit of salt on it. Amazing. Especially if it's fresh buffalo mozzarella. Alright. It's fair. It's fair. I like that. cherry tomatoes off the vine. Yeah, well, cherry tomatoes are good. You know what? Yeah, no, I still think it's in the right place. For me personally, I rank it below these. Turnip. I don't hate them. I don't love them. They're okay. Once in a while. I don't eat them that often. But if it's blended in a salad or something, you know, sliced up, it's fine. But don't really care. Zucchini though. Not a lot of flavor, but chopped up and added into stir fry, or chopped up just as like a little snack instead of eating potato chips, kind of like we used to do with what we still do with cucumbers. I think it's really good. I think it's somewhere in the B's. I like the texture of zucchini, I do, but I do think it's low on the B's. I think I'm gonna put it right there. I think that's where it belongs. Yeah, you haven't had parsnip. I personally like it, but don't think I'm knowingly aware of any others that like it. Yeah, my thing with parsnips is it's been so long since I've had it, I couldn't really tell you if I like it or not. All right, so that's the list. Now, olives shouldn't be on here. We know this. It's cheesy that it's on here, but it's on here. But if we're looking at the list as it is, I love green olives. I'll go pull some green olives in a minute. Watch me do it. An avocado is a gift. If heaven exists, avocado is a gift from the heavens. And we all should appreciate it. Guacamole, done right, is the best chip dip on the planet. It really is. And it's good fats. A tier, small list, but kind of unassailable. If you have a problem with carrots or broccoli or Brussels sprouts or cucumber, I have a problem with you. I'm just kidding. I love y'all. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight. No, for real. I'm really glad y'all came to hang out with me. That's my first stream in 9 days. COVID has been a pain in the ass. It's kicked my ass, but I'm back for a little bit. We're going to try to do some Dead Space on Friday night, by the way. Hopefully that works out. You got your B tier, you got your bell peppers, you got your broccolini. A lot of this stuff in here doesn't have a ton of flavor, but good textures, good side dishes. If you're making something else, little peas. This is all good. C tier, asparagus. Some people really hate it. Some people like it more. For me, I like cooking with asparagus sometimes. Thank you. I like cooking some asparagus every once in a while, some steamed asparagus, but I get it. And look, it makes your pea smell funny. I get all that. You got the salad stuffs. You got Swiss chard and sorrel, which okra. Split down the middle. People don't like it because they're from the north. People like it because they're from the south. It is very regional for sure. My D's, you know, some of y'all like some of these better than I do, and that's fine. I'm not going to be mad at you. You like celery? You like radishes? Whatever. I'm not a fan. But beets are an atrocity. Beets are a war crime. Beets should be tried in The Hague and put to death. And if I had a way to snap my finger and make one vegetable on this planet go away, sorry, borscht. Sorry, you're gone. Beets, out the door. Do they use beets to make sugar? Yes, they do. Does that mean there's less sugar on the planet? Yes, there is. That's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. As I drink a cream soda. Thank y'all for hanging out tonight. Thank you for watching. Tell me, if you're watching this on YouTube, put in the comments, what is your favorite vegetable? I want to know. Until then, thanks for watching. Glad you decided to hang out with me tonight.